Today, I'm going to show you how to make your very own picture frame in absolutely any size you like. Hi, I'm Amanda, Mirror Geek here at Two Way Mirrors. Each week, we bring you new killer content based on our expertise in glass and the mirror industry. For this project, you will need your choice of frame, wood glue, a cloth or a toothbrush, a circular saw blade, clear glass or a mirror, glazing points, cardboard or thin plywood, and of course your eye gear. I'm super excited because at the very end of this video, I'm gonna go into some bonus steps on how you can hydro dip your frame to make it any color or design you like. The first thing you will need to do is pick your frame sticks out and then cut them to size. Usually when framing something, you want to fit it to the size of the glass, art, or the mirror. Let's take a look at that now. First, let's write down everything we need to know. The glass size I'm using today is 10.5 by 12.5. The frame width is 2. The rabbet within the frame is 5/16 of an inch. You can find this information online or simply measure this part of the frame. If the glass or the photo size is 10.5 by 12.5 and the frame width is 2 inches and then the rabbet within the frame is 5/16 of an inch, then you will need to take the width and times that by 2, which is 4 inches in my base. Now add that to each side. Now let's take the rabbet of the frame, which is 5/16. Since there are 2 rabbets, multiply it by 2, which is 5/8. Then subtract that from the width, which gets you 16 by 14 inches. This means the overall size of the frame will be 14 by 16 inches, which means that is what we need to cut the frame material to. Let's get started. The first piece of equipment I am using is a miter saw. You will need the frame sticks and your eye protection to start cutting. Cut your frame sticks to a few inches bigger than the original size so they are easier to handle. For mine, I will cut 2 of them to 18 inches and the other 2 will be cut to 16 inches. That way it gives me 2 inches of leeway on each frame stick. The slower you go with the saw, the less of a chance you have of your frame chipping. Step 2. Once the frame sticks are cut, you will need to start cutting the 45-degree angles. Move the saw to cut the left 45-degree angle. When cutting the angles, the rabbet should be towards you. For the first 45-degree angle, there is no measuring needed. You just need to eyeball it. Do this to all 4 frame sticks. Remember to go super slow with the saw. After I make the cut, I always check the frame for any imperfections caused by the blade. Step 3. Move the saw to cut the right 45-degree angles. For the first 2 frame sticks that are the same size, I will move our marker to 14. Begin cutting with the rabbet facing towards you. Remember to take your time with this. You will really be able to see the difference with the finished product. Step 4. Do the same as step 3, but with the other measurement, which I will cut my other frame sticks to 16 inches. Step 5. Place all the frames together to ensure they all come together well and find a good base to glue them on. We like to use plywood, either exact size of the frame or 1 or 2 inches bigger. The space was perfect for this frame. It was 14 by 17 and the frame is 14 by 16. Step 6. Begin gluing. I like to place all the pieces together and clamp them to the table and then start gluing. Many people have different ways of doing this. For this project, I will be using the corner weld all-purpose wood glue. I like to take the end pieces, glue those in place, and then do the other side. I use table clamps to clamp the frame to the table as the glue is drying. Be sure that your clamps have fabric on them, or else it could scratch your frame. Take your cloth and wipe away the glue as you go. Step 7. Allow the frame to dry. I like to allow mine to dry for a few hours, preferably overnight. Step 8. While the glue is drying, we can cut our thin plywood for the back. You will need to measure the inside of your frame. This is where the wood would be placed. It will most likely be the same size of the glass. Step 9. Begin cutting your wood. You can also use cardboard for this. Using our table saw to cut the wood to size, you can also use a hand-powered saw. After I cut the wood, I just sanded the sides, front and back, using a sanding block to give it a smoother finish and to prevent splinters. Step 10. The next part is optional, depending if you'll be hanging your picture frame on the wall or just setting it on a table. For it to sit on the table, you will need to make something so the frame can lean at an angle. For this, we took some thin plywood and used a digital angle caliper to figure out how to make the stand on its own. There are a lot of different ways you can create this. Now, I just chipped off some of the wood so it laid flat onto the back plywood and the table. If you want to hang this picture frame on a wall, then you will just need to get some sawtooth attachments. After I place them on top of each other with the glue, I'm just gonna clean up the glue a bit. This glue doesn't dry clear, so this is important. After we have let the back build dry, I'm just going to glue it to the plywood. I found the middle of the plywood and centered that, and then began gluing. Once it has dried together, I added a few staples in there for extra support. Just remove the frame from the platform. To keep the wood in place on the back, we're using glazing points. To insert these, simply use a flathead and gently push it into the wood. You can also use a hammer to apply more pressure, if need be. We have a glazing point tool that does all the work for us. If you will be building a lot of frames, then this may be a good tool to invest in. And this is the picture frame. Go ahead and add in your favorite photo and place it for everyone to see. If you want to see how we got this effect, then keep watching. To add extra jazz to the frame, we're going to hydro dip it. Hydro dipping is just the process of dipping your frame into a bucket of water that has layers of spray paint lying on the surface. This adds a unique feel to the frame and is totally customizable. To start out, I'm just gonna grab the spray paint, a primer, a bucket with water, a mask, gloves, the frame, and then head outside. And that's all you need. To begin, let's just prime the frame with a spray paint primer. The primer we're using is the Rust-Oleum Painter's Touch 2X Ultra Cover Primer. This primer is white, so it gives the frame a nice base for the spray paint. Let's give that time to dry and begin adding the spray paint to the water. If you want to see a full detailed explanation on hydro dipping, I will leave the link in the description. Once I have all the colors added, it's ready to go. Now we can dip the frame into the water. And this is the finished product. The colors I chose were pink and silver. And then after we let that dry for a few hours, I just added a quick spray of glow-in-the-dark paint over it. And then after 24 hours of drying, I placed the frame back together. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below and watch until the very end of this video to see how we recorded it. Until next time, I'm Amanda with 2A Mirrors, and I will see you in our next DIY video. Okay, now let's take a moment for our sponsors, us. A lot of you have been asking how we make our videos. The magic actually happens in front of our chroma key green screen. A teleprompter, also known as an autocue, is a Beamsplitter mirror that prompts the speaker with a speech. Using a teleprompter allows detailed scripts to be written in advance and delivered quickly. The magic is in the mirror, which provides flawless clarity for the camera to record through. Because the notes are in front of the camera lens, there is direct eye contact with our audience. Hi, I'm Amanda, videographer, mirror geek, and everything else I want to be. I made this guide on teleprompting to help you deliver your lines quickly and confidently on camera. I'll leave you all the details below on the simple parts you will need to make your very own professional teleprompter using our glass. I'll also leave a link to our free voice-activated software, which allows you to control your script with your voice. Okay guys, that is all I have for you. I will see you in our next DIY project. So hit that subscribe button right now to see all of our future projects, and leave a comment below on what DIY project we should do next.